Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Welcome to day 4 of the Markvar Invitational. So we've got optimized fighters from all of the editions, numbered editions anyway, from 1st edition AD&D up to 5th edition AD&D. These optimized characters have a set amount of stats, and for editions that would have had them roll hit points randomly, they would have gotten maximum. The stats are as follows, so 20 for strength, or sorry, not 20, 18 for strength. I'm looking at the character sheet here. 18 for strength, 16 for constitution, and 12 for dexterity, with all the other stats being 8s. Today we're looking at our 4th edition character, and for the 4th edition not advanced, just the 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons, I've been reading a lot of AD&D stuff lately, and it's really starting to sink into my brain, I think. But for our 4th edition Dungeons & Dragons fighter, humans in 4E got a +2 bonus to an ability score. So with that in mind, I put it into their strength. So this character actually has a 20 strength, making it the strongest of the fighters so far. Now, if you watched the original Goblin Week, you would have seen that the 4th edition fighter actually fared the worst, only killing about an average of 2.1 goblins before going down themselves. So we'll see how this one goes. This one may be a little bit different. With the optimized build, unlike the regular characters, which I tried to aim for consistency in their equipment, I'm able to purchase with this character the best equipment possible for the money. So instead of having to settle for chainmail, for example, this fighter was actually able to afford plate armor. Plate armor is only 50 gold to start in 4th edition. But they have more powerful versions of these armors later on. They also did that because they reduced the number of armors quite drastically. I think it's only like cloth, leather, chain, scale, hide might be in there, and then plate. So they reduced the number of types of armor dramatically. So with our character, what we have here, just a quick overview. So we, like I said, we got that 20 strength. Our armor class is also 20. So this is the highest armor class that we've had so far in these tests. Starts with a base of 10, plus 8 for the plate armor, and plus 2 for a shield. Speed is reduced down to 5 squares, but this is not going to take effect in this fight because it is just a toe-to-toe battle with no like shifting maneuverings or anything along those lines. So what we've got here just for our attacks, so we got our regular longsword attacks at a +9 bonus. Goblin has an armor class of 17, so I only need to roll an 8 or higher to hit for a d8 +6. There's also the Sure Strike ability, which attacks at +11, so if I find that I'm missing a lot, I can do that. And it only does base weapon damage, so it's a lot less damage in this case, but it does increase your odds of hitting. There's also Steel Serpent Strike, which is an encounter ability. It hits for 2d8 +6, and the target is slowed and cannot shift. And of course I've got the Comeback Strike, which is reliable, meaning that if I miss with it, I don't waste it. And it also does 2d8 +6 and heals 7 hit points. Now one thing that I'm going to be doing with this fighter that I completely forgot to do last time is taking advantage of the Reaping Strike. So before I was using just the basic melee attack. So with this one I'm actually going to be using Reaping Strike, which what that does is on a miss, the enemy still takes half of my strength modifier for damage. So even on a miss, the Goblin's going to be taking 2 points of damage. So it may end up making a bit of a difference. Of course, there's also Second Wind, an ability that each character can use in 5th edition, or 4th edition I should say, in which they spend Healing Surge, so I would regain 7 hit points, and they get +2 to all of their defenses until the start of their next turn, so it might make them even more difficult to hit. So when I get to the point where I'm using that, my armor class goes to 22 until I get another action, meaning that at least one Goblin attack against me is going to be made at AC 22. And of course there's also the Comeback Strike, like I mentioned earlier, which also gives me a Healing Surge. So at this point I can regain up to 14 hit points, so nearly half of my maximum. My maximum starting hit points is 31, so a couple more hit points than what we had before. I think that's pretty much it. I think those are the only things I really need to go over with this character. So we're just going to get right into it here. Of course, we'll just zoom in a little bit. So this will be our 4th edition fighter, the great big massive shield. And I'll just put everything over here. So, we got our dice. The Goblin's attacking with a spear at +6 for a D8 +2. So this will be the Goblin's dice. Hopefully they'll show up all right on the camera. And this will be our fighter's dice. And this fighter's name is Gregor Arlathan. And we're just going to go right into it. So we're going to roll initiative. And try to keep it on camera as much as possible. Of course, we got Tar Markvar sitting back on his throne. The construction is more or less done on the outside, on his keep, so we moved everything back inside. So for initiatives, okay. So some of my older sets of dice have some stuff worn off. The Goblins get +6, but they ended up rolling a natural 1, and it's hard to see. I don't know if it'll focus on this or not. But that's actually there we go. That's actually a 17. So Gregor is going to go first, even though he gets -1. Oh no. I must have given him a feat for his initiative, because it should be. Oh no, it's dexterity based, yeah. So he goes on 18. And our Goblin only goes on 7. So Gregor is going to go first. And he's just going to lead off with Reaping Strike. So like I said, even if I miss, the Goblin's taking 2 points of damage. Oh. And that is an 8 + 9 is 17. So that is going to hit. Now the one thing that I should say, as powerful as this character looks, the default method of creating characters in 4th edition is a standard array of stats, which at best can give you 2 16s and have a lot of like other lower like kind of bad stats, which I think is what I used in the original build. So having the 20 strength and having these attack bonuses, the extra attack bonus, does seem kind of high, but it's something that if you're using the default methods for character creation, you're never going to see. So I guess I should just point that out. Now if you use the 46 method, then you can absolutely get a strength like this at first level. But anyway, so like I said, that is a hit. So damage is a D8 +6. So that is going to be 11 damage. So our Goblin takes his first hit and gets reduced down to 18 hit points. Right, in retaliation. The Goblin gets 12 + 6 is 18, so that's going to be a miss. So this Goblin actually needs to roll a 14 or better to hit. So I think things are going to be a little bit different this time around. Alright, next round. Gregor swings again. 19 on the dice. So that is another hit. And that is only going to be that's going to be 8 points of damage. So our Goblin is reduced down to 10. Our Goblin does hit though, so we do get a hit in. This is an 18, so 24 total. So our Goblin stabs Gregor with the spear, finds a seam in his plate, armor, and inflicts 6 points of damage, so he's down to 25. Gregor again with a Reaping Strike. 14 will hit, and there's a chance that he's going to be able to kill the Goblin with this attack. And he does, so that is 12 points of damage. The Goblin only had 10 left. So down he goes, and another one's going to move up and take its turn immediately. Roll our Goblin dice here, which will miss. Gregor swings back. Now that is going to be a miss. I rolled a 5 on the dice, so this new Goblin is still going to take 2 points of damage, dropping him down to 27. And the Goblin swing back. 11 will also miss. So Gregor attacking again, hitting with this one, and is going to be dealing 7 + 6, so that's going to be 13 points. I think I did the math as if it was 5 last time, but anyway, 13 to the Goblin, so it's down to 14 hit points. And Goblin, in retaliation, swinging or thrusting with his spear, is going to miss. Ethan Gregor in response hits again and deals 10 points, so this Goblin is down to 4 hit points. Getting desperate now, seeing that he doesn't have much of a way out here. He's going to put all of his faith in this one last swing. And I roll a natural 1. So the Goblin panicked, and basically, at this point I'm going to say most likely just broke his spear off, because I'm pretty sure Ethan's going to hit, or Gregor's going to hit with this one. Oh, but he doesn't. So Gregor actually misses. But that's still another 2 points with the Reaping Strike. So the Goblin just kind of hastily picks up its broken spear tip and thrusts with all his might. And rolled a 3, so it just bounces off the plate armor harmlessly. And Gregor takes down another Goblin, 8 points of damage, dropping it down to the negatives. He goes down. So like I said, I think we're going to see a little bit different here. I'm saving the bigger attacks until he's, lower in hit points. So now we've got our next Goblin moving up. Missing as well. I'm not rolling very good here. Natural 1 from Gregor. So that is a brutal miss. But just gonna still does 2 points of damage with the Reaping Strike, so he still manages to, even though he doesn't actually slice into the Goblin, just the sheer force of the blow from all of Gregor's strength still partially wounds the creature. Alright, Goblin, attack, miss. Gregor, ooh, natural 1. Okay, this is getting pretty rough, but again, is that 2 natural 1s in a row? Anyway, that's not good. Goblin in retaliation, ooh, natural 20, so that is a critical hit, which is maximum damage in 4th edition. I don't have any magical weapons or abilities that deal extra damage on criticals, neither the Goblin nor my fighter. But Gregor is going to take 10 points of damage, which is going to put him down to 15. Now, he can take 1 more of those at max damage before he runs the risk of dying. So I'm not going to use anything yet. The combination that I would use things in would be the second wind first, and then I can spend my 1 action point to take another action to make an attack roll after that. But I think I'm going to hold off until he takes at least 1 more hit. However, since he took the critical, I think at this point in time we are going to use that Steel Serpent Strike at which does 2d8 plus 6 if it hits, and that is a 13 on the dice, so that is going to hit. Just grab I don't want to use the monster's d8 here, so I'll just grab another d8. And ooh, so 7 and 7 is 14, so that is 20 points to that Goblin. So a big, massive retaliation. So this has been used. I'm just going to put a check mark next to that for now, just so I know that. But 20 points, so this Goblin's down to 5. And, whoops, I got to keep that one. There we go. Alright, so in response, the Goblin, desperate now, seeing that the end is near, manages to hit. So we get another hit in on Gregor, takes 8 points of damage, so dropping him down to 7. So now Gregor is going to use his second wind, so that is going to be 7 hit points, so he's up to 14. And he is going to use his, so he also gets +2 to all of his defenses, armor class, fortitude, reflex, and will. So the next attack against him is against armor class 22. And he is going to use just a regular attack because I don't want to waste a comeback strike on a creature with only 5 hit points left, since a hit would automatically kill. And that is going to hit and kill another Goblin. So we got another one down. So already he's done better than most of the other 4th edition fighters from the previous test. So the next Goblin is going to move up and attack against armor class 22, so now I need to roll 16 or greater. Rolled an 18 though, so that's still going to hit for 4 points of damage, so Gregor is down to 10. Now he's going to use his comeback strike until it triggers because it is reliable. I can use it as many times as I want if I miss. It doesn't get used. When it hits, I finally trigger it, meaning that I deal the extra damage, get the hit point back, and then my daily ability is spent. But I can keep attempting it until I actually succeed. So, comeback strike will hit, so that is 7 hit points back, so up to 17 hit points. And we are rolling 2d8 plus 6. This one's not as good. That's only 12 points of damage to the Goblin, which puts him down to 17. Alright, this Goblin thinks he has a good chance at freedom. Takes a swing but misses. Gregor in response. Natural 1. God, he's rolling a lot of natural 1s. Still hits for 2 though, so again, he's not able to, slice through with his longsword. or thrust with the longsword, but just the sheer weight of the blow against the goblin's shield or armor is still going to kind of damage it a little bit, maybe knock the wind out of him. Goblin swinging back, misses horribly, and Gregor hits for 12 points. This goblin is down to 3 and starting to get desperate here. It's going to miss by a mile. Gregor hits, and, well, he only had 3 hit points left, so another goblin goes down. Alright, next one moves up. Going to take a swing, smelling blood, but misses. Gregor hits again. I've been rolling that 17 a lot, too. So, for 8 points. So, our next goblin is reduced down to 21. And in response, we'll miss. Alright, Gregor misses, but still deals 2 points of damage. So down to 19. 12 will just miss, so the shield in this case absorbs the blow this time. And another massive hit for 13 points. So this goblin is already down to 6. Next hit will be guaranteed to kill it. Can he get at least one hit in? Nope. And that is going to be it for him. Down he goes. So, next goblin. They're starting to get a little nervous here. This goblin will hit. So, we got a hit in on Gregor. Just kind of ducks underneath the shield, dodges past his sword as he swings at him, and stabs for 3 damage. Not the most impressive in the world there. But you still got him at least, and that's going to cost him dearly. Most likely, nope. Because he was dodging and weaving, he only gets... whoops, I guess I should start with the fresh hit points there. So Gregor misses, but just again kind of uses just the sheer weight of his blow to inflict a little bit of pain on the goblin, who at this point thinks he's got it. 16 on the dice, so that's 2 hits in a row. That hits armor class 22. And a little bit better this time, so he deals 6 points. Dropping Gregor down to 8, so now Gregor is in kill range. But he'll swing again, and Gregor connects this time for 9 points of damage on the goblin. So that takes him down to 18. Whoops. Oh, let's move on to another pencil there. Yeah, so 18. Alright, this goblin thinks he's got it though. He might be the one to earn his freedom today. 14 and 6 is 20, so that is a hit. Will this be enough? I need to roll at least a 6 on the d8 here, and if I do that, then Gregor is down, and this goblin, as per the mercy of the legendary Tar Markvar, will have earned his freedom. No, that is a 1. That is 3. That is 3 points of damage. So now we're down to 5, and Gregor getting a little bit desperate himself here now, wanting to put on a good showing for the Lord Markvar. Hits the goblin for minimum damage, so 7 points. So goblin's still in double digits. Next round, goblin again feeling confident. He's hit him, I think, 3 out of 4 times. Natural 20. So that is it. The goblin deals maximum damage, which is going to be 10 points. Gregor only had 5 left. And down he goes. This goblin gets to leave with his freedom. So he hastily exits Markvar Keep. And that was our on-camera 4th edition test. Now again, these are only the first the first in the series of 10 combats. I'll be doing the rest off-camera. But we already did significantly better with this character than we did with any of the with the previous 4th edition character, and that's more or less has been the theme of this. I think for the most part, is we're seeing sort of a higher initial set of goblins killed. Now again, this is only the first of 10, so it doesn't necessarily indicate how the rest of the fights are going to go. But for our first effort, excuse me, we got 5 goblins. And I just want to look back, because I believe I have the other, yeah, so here's the other 4th edition character from our standard build, not our optimal build. And as you can see, The most goblins that were killed in any of those 10 combats was 4. So with this one, we've already exceeded any of the combats that we had with the previous build of the 4th edition character. So it'll be interesting to see how these all kind of average out. And we'll find out the details likely tomorrow. In the final day of the Tar Markvar Invitational, so I will be doing a whole bunch of test battles tonight, because I haven't actually done the previous edition ones yet. But again, I hope you guys have been enjoying the series so far. I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I actually also want to do sort of an announcement video for some other things that I have planned that I want to do going forward. So that's going to be up later today as well, or either later today or it's going to be up first thing tomorrow morning. So be sure to check that out. But again, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.